Yes, let us continue with the previous discussion. Shall I begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, I stopped at this point where I was speaking about a generic function, how you can have the accommodation of a generics with the lambda expressions. Okay. Here you can see I have written an interface which talks about data type T. Okay, interface space, name of the interface, opening angular bracket, closing angular bracket. Between that, capital T indicates what? The data type with which you want to work for this particular abstract function. Okay, now this function takes one parameter T of type capital T and returns capital T. Okay, this is what is the function declaration for the interface sum function. Okay, and this declaration is called as generic function declaration because data type is not specified at all. Okay, so this function func can work on any data type with a single parameter. Okay, now let's suppose I have created I have created reverse, okay, as the object of the interface sum function. And since I'm writing it as a generic interface, here I have written in between the pair of angular brackets the data type with which you want to write the functional part of the lambda expression. Ajay is there? I think you had asked me this data type conversion. This is how you have to do only when you define the interface as a generic interface. Okay. Now, when I have declared the function, the interface itself as a generic interface, only then this typecasting is allowed. Okay. Now, this indicates what? Whatever the variable or the reference of the interface that is getting created, that has to work on the data type string. Okay. Um, Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm sorry. This has to be capital string. Yeah. Now, this particular function part must have only one parameter of type string. Okay. I'm sorry. Guys, please pardon me. This has to be str. What this str means? This str indicates this t, small t. This str means small t. Okay. So it is a variable which is receiving the returned value. Anonymous function never bothers about the data type. This we have seen. Okay. Never bothers about the data type. So this indicates a variable which is receiving the value. Okay. Now str is a parameter. It's a parameter of type capital T. Capital T is right now replaced with string. Okay. Now string result is equal to null initially. Then this result is nothing but the reversed order of the given string. Okay. Now str is the parameter that is passed from the length -1 till 0th position character. I am just writing it to the result. Initially result is empty and now I am writing one after the other from last to first, last character to the first character. I am writing each character at one character at a time to this result. So at the end of this for loop, I have returned the result. It means what? The reversed string is getting returned. Reversed string is getting returned and that is received by the variable reverse. Who is this variable? This variable is nothing but the reference of the interface sum function. Then when I call reverse dot, okay, reverse dot function of hello if I write. So system.out.println, you can just check. Reverse dot function of lambda. Reverse dot function of hello. Okay, when you write that value that is passed as parameter, that value's reverse will be printed. Okay, I think by this time these things are okay for you. Only thing that is more important is the generics. Okay, when you write a generic interface, that particular variable with which you are creating, that variable must be associated with the kind of the data type that you want to have the association. Okay, similarly the same function func, the same function can be used on an integer. It can be used on an integer. Let me just go down. You can just check some function, arrow, opening and closing bracket, angular brackets, integer I have written. It means what? The parameter that I am passing is of type integer, and the value that is received by factorial variable, that is also an integer value. Okay. On the other side of this equal to, I have the lambda expression where it talks about result is equal to 1. Then you are computing the factorial of the number that is given, then return the result. That returned result will go for factorial, and if I print factorial, will it print me the value? No. Printing value has to be done by whom? The function who is returning the value. Okay, what this does, this simply returns the value. It simply returns the value that is being received by the variable of the interface. Now, when I call factorial dot function of 3, it will print me function 3 is a factorial number. So look at this. These lines of code, they are for strings. These lines of code are for integers. So the same lambda expression, the same functional interface can make it happen in such a way that the function that is being written for that particular interface can work on any data type that it receives. This is called generic lambda expression. This is called generic lambda expression. It's very important. Please note it down. Okay. Anyways, I'll be sharing all these codes to you immediately after this class. Okay. Both the videos I'll be uploading, and all these programs that has been written, everything I'll be sharing to you in the Google Classroom. These are very important. Okay. Any doubt in this example? Please let me know. I think generics is already covered. Okay, lambda expressions you know already. Combining both of them is this generic lambda expression. Yes, any doubt?
No doubts, madam.
No doubts? So can I proceed ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
Who is speaking?
ma'am, it's Aditi. Can you
Aditi,
please
tell
first
me.
show the generic function definition once?
Pardon?
Can you please show me the generic function definition once?
Okay, I'll just go up. Function declaration you want?
Yeah, right.
Okay, only single line of code.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Done.
Okay. Yes. Okay. This is about lambda expressions. We have one more special feature of Java that is called as streams. I think I have spoken about streams many a times before also, but I'll be showing you one such example which talks about how important it is to manage the data in the stream format. Okay, we call it as data stream, we call it as character stream. Why that is so important? Okay, you just have to imagine a stream like this. Let me just go to the end. Okay, yeah, I'll just run the slideshow. A stream would look like this. There is a bigger data stream available. If you want to do any kind of modification to the data that is existing in the stream, you just have to copy that into some other stream, do the changes, and use it as you want. Okay, so every modification that you are doing requires a copying of this. This is only the overhead that is available. This is only the overhead that is available. The reason only for that is whenever you want to have whenever you want to have the restoring of the data, the original data is untouched. Okay, so with this background, the stream discussion I'll be beginning. Okay, probably I have talked about character streaming, I've talked about byte streaming in my initial classes when I started Java programming. Okay, now what I will do is how streams in Java have got very important functionalities that you can apply on the available data to get the things that I want from that particular data. Okay, without writing the codes for that. You just have to call those functions. Only those functions I'll be discussing in this discussion. Okay. So, this particular stream example, it does this. I use what is called as an array list. I think probably you have used array list, you have used linked list, you have used as normal array, you have used string, you have used string buffer, or what all these are called? Can anybody tell me? What all these called in Java terminologies? Any answer from your end? We have vector, we have trees, we have set, correct, collection classes. They are called as collection classes. Out of these collection classes, I have used array list for this example. Okay, array list I have used for this example. I think collection classes I have told in detail for you. Okay, now what I've done is I have created a generic array list with integer as a parameter for the data type. In that, I have added by using add function some of the values. Okay, this is the original list. On this original list, I make this as a stream. First of all, I want to store this as a stream so that the values that are available in that collection are intact. They can be copied into some other stream and the related actions or the operations can be applied on the copy, not on the original list. Okay. Now next what I will do is I will convert this array list into what is called as stream. How I can do that? Just pay attention to this line of code. Existing array list is contained in what object? My list. Okay, existing array list is called as my list. Now I just want to have a stream generated for this array list, so that first of all, why there is a need for this stream when I have already the collection classes? Streams are useful whenever I want to have a communication established between a client and a server. Okay, the client existing networking, when I take up two machines, they are working at independent networks. If I want to have a navigation of data between them, and after doing some modification to the data existing, I want to supply the set of data to the other end, then I require what is called as streams. Okay, it is just acting as a pipeline between the client and the server. Now, when I'm doing so, the list that I'm talking about, that is available at my end. It means it is available in my machine. Now, if I want to send it on the other end, see, if you are doing it on your own machine, whatever networking programs you have done, it is on your own machine, then it will be done so easily, conveniently. But if you want to have a real streaming of the data, that's why I call it a streaming of data, real streaming of data, then I require a special feature of Java called as streams. Then how do you convert your normal data into streaming data? You have a simple constructor calling or simple function calling of stream class called as stream, all in small case letters, and you are calling that with reference to the collection class, the data, the collection of the data for which you are generating the stream. So I will write like this: stream, it is of what type, space, the object with which that particular stream will be addressed in the future, equal to the name of the data collection dot function stream. What it does, it converts a normal data into stream of data. It converts normal data into stream of data. So now onwards, my list will be called by name my stream. Okay, you're converting normal array list into a stream. For that, I have done this line of code. What is that? Stream class space the object of that particular stream class equal to the name of the object with which the data is stored dot function stream. So it does the conversion of any collection class back to a stream. Okay. Now, on this particular stream, I just want to do these kind of operations. Find the minimum, find maximum, whether the element is present or not. I want to print all of them. Okay, so to find the minimum maximum, I have min and max functions implicitly available in the stream class of Java. Then is present will tell you whether that particular data is present or not. Get will fetch each and everything and print. Get is nothing but get it, supply it. If I write a system.out.println of get, then I will print it. Okay. Now, for doing any of these operations, I require a separate stream creation. I require a separate stream creation because the original stream, I want to keep it intact. For every operation that you are doing, apply a separate stream for that. Okay. How can I do that? Whenever you want to have a creation of additional stream or the stream which is having a lesser lifetime, that kind of stream creation is done by what is called as optional class. It is done by optional class. This is a subclass of stream class. This is the subclass of stream class. Stream class generates a data store, a stream of data which remains intact, which will not be altered. Optional will be available for a particular amount of time. It means on that particular data, when that particular thing is utilized, that optional will be garbage collected. It will be garbage collected. It means what? You can just throw it off. You don't want it anymore. So for that particular operation, you are creating a separate string. So how can you do that? Optional in bracket integer, the object with which you want to create my stream dot min. Min is a function available already. My stream is the data store which I have created over here. Okay. Call min function on it and apply in this min. What is that? Using scope resolution operator. This two four dots or two colons, they are called as scope resolution operators. With reference to scope resolution operator, this holds like this. What is the data type on which you want to apply and what is that you want to apply? On the right hand side of the scope resolution operator, the operation that you want to apply, that you will write. On the left hand side of the scope resolution operator, the data type with which you want to apply the right hand side operation. Okay, so it means what? Min you are obtaining by applying the compare function on the of the integers. Okay, so on what? On my stream that you have generated. So this part indicates what? You are creating an optional stream with the object minval on my stream for minimum, for finding the minimum out of the data that is available in my stream by applying the compare function on integers. This is how you are writing the optional stream. Any doubt at this point? Let me know please before I proceed.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, suppose if I have some value like 8, if I assign it to the variable min, and can I just call it like min dot is present? Like, is it valid, or do we need
Min
to
dot?
call with respect to the
Can you
min
repeat?
dot
Can you
is
repeat?
present?
Min dot?
Min dot is present. I mean, can I call it with respect to some integer variables that I have declared, or is it like is it with respect to optional
It means you
variable?
are asking for combining two functions.
No, actually, I'm
Hmm?
telling like if I declare some variable.
Mm-hmm.
And then can I
Single
call it
variable.
with yeah, simple variable, and can I call respect to
See,
that variable, like the function is present, or
Varshini,
is it
when you have a single variable, single variable will have a single value, correct?
Yes.
Single variable will have a single value. When you have a single value, there is no requirement of creating a collection class for that, first of all. And if you have created a collection class for that, definitely collection class has a single value. Then at that time, there will be an object for that. It will not be called as a variable. And you cannot apply these things. You cannot apply these things on a single variable value.
Yeah, that's right. And
Huh.
suppose like in a stream of like 10 values, I want to search
Okay.
that if one value is present or not. Like
Yeah.
is
Then
present,
very
then
well
I
you
want.
can. Very well you can. Then what you are supposed to do is you have to apply that the sort function. Okay. You want to apply min or max? What you want to apply? What you want to perform?
I want to search for that variable.
Okay, then you can
Search for
use
that
is present. Is present. Definitely you can.
with with respect to what I have to call. Like I
With
have to
reference to
mention
the
that
my
value as well.
stream. My stream.
My
Who?
stream dot is present means how we'll check for that particular value.
Varshini, you just wait. I will be scrolling down the things, and now I have done only with min.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be covering all these things.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Now, so this get function, what it does, it just prints it. Okay, min value dot get. It just prints it with reference to what object you have called get function. That particular value gets printed. Okay. Now, similarly, if I want to have max, I will call max with reference to my stream. Now, again, I will be creating optional, okay, then have the comparison done on the integer comparison done, okay. Now, I think Varshini was talking about applying of is present, okay, applying of is present. Now, in this case, what is happening is if I want to have the presence of that particular value, if I want to have the presence of that particular value, then you can very well write like this. 1 minute. I'll just go up. Okay. What I will do is I have created a stream, okay, by stream class, say my stream 1. Okay. I've created a stream class for this. Now what I want to do is I just want to check whether a particular value is present or not. I hope this is what is your question, Varshini. Okay.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
what I will do is I'll write I'll write a particular value of my string. Okay, I think now I have understood your question, Varshini. Okay, what I will do is I will write integer, say a is equal to, okay, my stream 1 dot min of integer colon colon compare. Okay, what is this I have done? I have just compared on my stream 1 to find the minimum. Okay, and suppose I want to store that as a part of a. It is a variable now. Okay, now what I will do is I will write is present with reference to this a. Is present, whether it is present or not. I have found the minimum value is this, but is it present or not? Whether this is present or not, only when it is present I will print it, otherwise it will return a false. Okay, this is what you are asking, Varshini.
Ma'am, but what I've asked is like if you are just going like my stream one dot min, like it will
Hmm?
search for that minimum value in the stream itself, right? Then
Correct.
why do I need to check it again is present? It will
Yeah.
obviously will be there, like
Correct,
because we
you
are
are
checking
right.
in
You
that
are
stream
right.
only.
So is present is useful only when you are searching for an element. Probably you got confused here, I think. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just
I'm
checking
sorry.
again.
I'm sorry. Now I saw it now. This is not required. You are right. 100% right. I've removed it. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, now it is correct.
Yes, but in that int a, you have just again used dot
Yes,
min.
yes, 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 yes. You're right. You're right.
I'm just confusing there itself again and again.
Yes, don't get confused. That is not required here. Yeah. Is present is always useful for checking whether an element is present or not. You're 100% right. See, minimum and maximum, you are searching in the same list only. There is no need of checking is present. You're 100% right. Okay. Now, similar in the similar grounds, I will check for maximum of the string. Okay, but when you are doing each and every operation, you are supposed to create an extra additional stream. You cannot work on the original stream. This you have to keep in mind. Okay, and that additional stream I always call it as optional. Okay, now what I want to do is I just don't want to create an additional stream. In the original stream itself, I want to have the sorting of the elements done. Okay, how do I do that? What I will do is I will create a stream called sorted stream. This I will make it as source stream. Please remember this. The streams that are going to become the source streams, they will be called with the class stream. The streams that are optional, that is, they will go in vain. Only during that particular operation, I want it to be available. Afterwards, it can be removed. Only in that case, I will call it as optional. Otherwise, you call it with the class stream itself. Okay. I want to retain these sorted elements for a while. For that reason, I have created a separate stream called as sorted stream. And my list dot stream, okay, dot sorted, again this I will call it as my list dot sorted. Why my list dot sorted? It is just because sorted is a function implicitly available to sort. It is available to sort the elements. Okay, now how do you print it? Using the anonymous function, and using what is called as for each function that is available in Java. Combination of the two I will be printing. Just pay attention in the kind of the printing that is shown here. Okay, sorted list, how do I print it? Sorted stream dot for each. Okay, on this sorted stream that is generated by after sorting, I call for each of anonymous function. I'll write inside this is this, whatever inside the bracket whatever I have written, this part is anonymous function. Please note it down. Okay, lambda expression, the lambda expression application is here. Okay, and I have written in bracket arrow system.out.print n. What it does? Takes n, prints it. Takes n, prints it. Nothing else other than that. Okay, until the end of sorted stream elements. For every element, it has to do this. What is that? Take the element, print it. Okay, then after the whole loop ends, you are printing a new line. Okay, this is how a sorting of the stream of data is done. So min is implicitly available, max is implicitly available, get is implicitly available. Get does what? Gets exactly one value at a time. So you can very well write it like this: sorted stream dot for each of n arrow system dot out dot print, say sorted stream dot get. What it does? It does printing of one element at a time and goes to the next. Both does the same thing. Get function is useful only for printing a single value, but if you put it in the loop, definitely it will perform the same thing as it has done here. Any doubt in the program?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
could you please show the usage of is present?
Okay, 1 minute. Let me complete this and then I will discuss that. Will that be okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I just want to apply one more thing. What is that? Only the odd values that are greater than n, that are greater than 5. Okay. only the odd values, but those odd values must be greater than 5. Okay, this is trickier. Now what I will do, I'll apply filter on this. How? Using anonymous class. Okay, I'll apply filter on this by using anonymous class. Two filters I'm going to apply actually. So filter is a function which extracts part of the data for which the condition is followed in the filter. Okay, it is similar to question mark colon. So my list dot stream of filter, look at this, odd vals. What is this odd vals? I have not streamed it, that's why I have written stream explicitly. Okay, I have not streamed it. Have I created stream space odd vals? It is not done yet. Okay, for that reason you can very well do it like this, original list dot stream. It means you are converting the filter that you obtain into what is called as streaming. Okay, now inside the filter I will be writing this. What is this? N, whether it is divisible by 2 or not. Is it equal to 1 after divisible by 2? If so, it is an odd number. Dot filter again, whether the value that is obtained over here, whether it is greater than 5. Okay, look at this. These are something like inner to inner, inner to inner, something like that. How these things will happen? N will be taken. First, it checks whether n is greater than 5. So outermost is nothing but the innermost filter that is available. So n checked against greater than 5. Returns true. Only then it goes for this second filter. Otherwise, it will just skip. It will simply skip. Then it checks whether it is odd or not. If so, it will be put into the stream. It will be put into the stream or called odd vals. Okay. So when you want to print, again you will apply odd vals dot for each. Odd vals dot for each. Okay. Now let me write is present over here. Instead of doing this, I'll write is present. I'll remove this filter off. I'll remove this also. So what this is present doing? Is present is trying to check whether this kind of n is available or not. Okay, this kind of n is available or not, or this is one way, or I can use is present in other manner also. Okay, let me use it like this. Now at the end of this this upper line, it would have created sorted list for me. Okay, and sorted list of elements is available as part of sorted stream. Okay, now what I will do is I'll write, say, my num. Okay, let me just check. Let me just write stream integer space my num1, say suppose, equal to say my list1. This is something else dot stream. Okay, I have got list1 and list2. Okay, I've got list1 and list2. Now what I will do is I will apply is present to this. Okay, my num1 dot is present of what is the stream? Sorted stream. What this does? This just checks whether all the elements that are there in num1, are they present as part of sorted stream? If so, it returns true or false. It is as good as searching all the elements that are available in array 1 in array 2. Okay, who had asked this question?
Ramya ma'am.
Yeah, is this okay?
Ma'am, yes ma'am. If we want to check the variable which we have taken as the input from the user, only a single
No,
variable.
Ramya, here everything speaks in terms of streams. Even if you take a variable value as input from the user, convert that to stream. You cannot
Okay, ma'am.
simply you cannot simply compare them. You can have the comparison done between the two streams only. Type must match. क्या हुआ?
Yes,
Excuse me,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, Maruti is speaking, I think.
Sorry,
Ma'am,
ma'am, by mistake. It's
Okay,
my
okay, ठीक है.
confusion. Sorry.
Yes,
ma'am, I
yes,
think
Ramya.
we can use other function, right? Like any
Pardon?
match function is there.
इनमें केलो.
Any match function.
हाँ, min max
Ma'am,
function.
my
हाँ.
no. I'm
Huh?
Varshini.
हाँ.
For searching a particular element, we can use another function, that any match function, right?
Any max function means
Any match.
match. हाँ,
Yeah.
that regular expression matching you are talking about.
Yeah. Inside that, we can just use this like
Definitely, definitely,
lambda, which is
definitely.
equal to key or
Yes,
something.
definitely. You have, see, Varshini, this stream class, no, it has so many options. You can have n number of things done through this, n number of things. Whatever you have studied till now, no, all those things you can use.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Hmm.
Thank
Okay. Yes, Ramya, your doubt is cleared.
you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a very important program that I have discussed. Okay, I'll be sharing it again to you. Please note it down, thoroughly go through it. Okay. Then I have something called as mapping. This is similar to the previous thing that I have done. Have a look at this. I had taken one a bigger one, sorted string, and this was a smaller one. You just want to have the comparison. Similarly, I just want to have a mapping done from a larger to a smaller. Okay, it is as good as I've stored a diary having name, phone number, and email. But now I want to stream that to a smaller diary, a smaller diary containing only name and phone. I don't want email. Okay, how I can do that? Anything that you store, either it can be a collection class or it can be called as a class. A collections at a time can have a collection of data of same data type, or you can have name value pair, key value pair called as hash, or you can store them as a tree. Okay, whichever way you want. This class, when I generate, you can call it as a node of a tree. Definitely, you can call it as a node of a tree. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm creating name, phone, email as a predefined user-defined class which stores the name, phone number, and email IDs of the persons. How? Using what is called as constructors. Whatever values that I pass by using add function, similar to the collection class. When I call something with add function, those values gets added to the collection class. Okay. Now, what I want actually is I want only name and phone. This is existing. This class is existing, but this is what is the output. This is what is the output. This is called as mapping. Okay, mapping the original stream into the thing that I want. Now, in this, I want name and phone number. So accordingly, let me write it. Okay, let me create a class for that. These two classes are, one is input class and the other is output class. Now in the main class, I have created an array list. I've created an array list for this particular class. What is the first class? Name, phone, email. Okay. With reference to that particular class, this indicates what? Data type. You can write string, you can write integer, you can write a tree, you can write a hash set, you can write a hash map. Any data type that you supply, in that data type, the values gets added. Okay, now I will simply call add function on 3 line. Okay, say 3 authors are being added. Okay, now original values in the list, I will be printing them. How do I print it? Since this list has a multiple set of values of different data types, multiple set of values, I go for what is called as for each. And when you write for each, before that you should stream them. You should convert that array list into stream. Has that been done yet? No. You can very well combine the printing as well as conversion of the original list into stream. How? My list is the original list. Dot stream, when you call, it will streamalize the original array list. Then call for each on A. What is this A? A is of type name, phone, email. Okay. And what is happening? Print A dot name, print A dot phone number, print A dot email. This should match with the names that are given as part of the class definition. Name, phone number and email. Okay. Then this indicates the original list, original stream that is already available for me. You have to imagine like this. Original stream is already there. But since it is not there, I have created one for now. Now I have to map that to the thing that I want. How? By using a simple function in the stream that is available called as map. So you just have to map that to a particular data type. What is that type? It is called as name phone. And you're calling it as a separate stream. So stream data type of that is name phone, and this is the handler with which I'll be addressing that in the further lines of code. Then my list dot stream. Have I done it? I have done it before, but I have not stored it anywhere. That's why I have to do it again. Okay, stream that dot call map on that, and inside this map function I'm going to write what is called as an anonymous function. This anonymous function does nothing other than creation of that particular class's construction with which you want to map. So what it does, it takes only name and phone number of the original class and writes it to A. Writes it to A. And that A, writes it to name and phone. This name and phone is the handler with which the values that are supplied will be available. Okay, so name phone of, this is a constructor of the output, constructor of the output class. To this, I will supply the name and phone number available in the original class. Available in the original class. So what is this A? This is the object of the original class. So with reference to the object of original class, I'm just writing A dot name, A dot phone number. So from where it is getting? From the stream of the original class. From there, I'm just creating one new constructor of the second or the output class, and that I'm trying to store it in a variable of the stream name and phone. Okay, this is how the mapping is done. Now what is next? I just want to print them. Okay, how do I print? Similar to the previous one, instead of writing name, phone and email, I will use name and phone dot for each in bracket A. This is with reference to what it is called, and then A dot name, A dot phone number. Okay, and when you're calling this function, this function indicates A here indicates what? It is the input right now that is given. So mapping is helpful for me in making sure that a larger stream is there that I want to convert into smaller stream. Only then what I call it as mapping and reduction is useful. Okay, I call it as mapping and reduction in streams. Yes. Any doubt in this example? Guys, I'm left out with exactly 5 minutes. I know this program is complex, but once you go through from top to bottom, it will become much easier to understand. Yes, no doubts? Okay. So see you all on 21st here, okay, in the college. And hoping that you are all well. You will come here with good health, okay, and you will definitely enjoy your stay in the college since you are longing for the college days since many days. And make sure that you are practicing the programs, okay, that are being given to you, and make sure that you are working on the problem that I have given so that you can submit that. It becomes much helpful for you for the exam. Okay, do it as quickly as possible. I'll be sharing the videos and today's classes discussion programs in the Google Classroom. Yeah. Yes, hoping for the best from all of you, and do study well for your offline exams. Okay, thank you all. So, shall I end?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much. Okay, have a nice time.